Hello and welcome, friends. Today I'm going to discuss how to write a research proposal. I had received a few requests on my social media from my subscribers who requested me to do a tutorial on how to write a research proposal. Now, the research proposal could be for multiple purposes. The most important one for research scholars, like who intend to become research scholars, or those students who have keen interest in research and they want to pursue a PhD program, they need to submit a research proposal along with their application. So this tutorial is intended to those candidates who wish to seek admission into a PhD program and are in the process of writing a research proposal to be submitted along with their applications. Right? So all set, let's get started and learn what are the criteria, what are the components of a good research proposal. So you have to understand that research proposal is a key part of your application. It's one of the most important thing because it demonstrates your seriousness and your interests in the area of research, the depth of the thought. How much have you spent time thinking about the area where you wish to pursue your research, right? So, why is it important? Why is your research proposal important? First and foremost, it is used to establish whether there is expertise to support your proposed area of research. That is to say, first and foremost, are you competent enough to conduct and comprehend and complete the research that you wish to establish, or the area of research that you wish to undergo. Now here, what is being checked, what is being tested, that first and foremost, do you have the capabilities? Number two, does the topic have any merit? Is it possible to conduct that research? How important is that research? What are the results and how is it going to impact the society as a whole? So what is being tested is the merit in your research area or the topic in which you wish to conduct your research. And then the second part, it forms part of the assessment of your application. The strength of your application depends, if not completely, but majorly on your research proposal, the area which you wish to conduct your research. Number two, maybe the implications of the research. Number three, the impact it may create and how it can solve the problems of society or humanity. So keeping all these things in mind, the more impactful, the more purposeful your research application is, or the proposal that you make for your research, the merit it will hold, the greater the merit it will hold for your application. So the stronger the research proposal, the more or the greater chances that you have that your application could be accepted. Thirdly, it is just the starting point. Now, when you propose the research area, it's not the be all and end all of everything. Now, as the research progresses, a lot of things would change. Maybe the objective of your research can also be changing. The methodology that you proposed, when you start working on it, you may feel that the methodology is not correct, or maybe it's not producing the desired results. Then probably you may have to change your research methodology as well. So you have to understand that you are just creating a starting point. You have a vision, you have a direction, but it will fructify, it will find its course during the process when you start working on your research area, and you would see how things evolve over a period of time. Moving on, the question again arises, what should be the ideal length of your research proposal? I usually suggest your research proposal should be around 2000 to 3000 words, that is to say around 4 to 7 pages long. Right? So this is a sufficient length that would cover the major aspects of a research proposal. So it doesn't matter how lengthy you make, okay? whatever is the important and crucial elements, if you have incorporated everything with crystal clarity and you know exactly what is to be done, how it is to be done, and when it is to be done, that is enough. And I believe all these things could be easily covered within 2000 to 3500 words. Now, this is the most important area. Now, what is to be included within your research proposal? The first and foremost thing, the title of your proposal, the title of your research. Now, it should give a clear indication exactly what you wish to do, or what is the key research question which is going to be answered during the tenure of your research, and when the research completes, what is the key research question or questions that are going to be answered. So the title should be succinct enough with complete brevity and should convey each and every aspect of the research and the key question or questions that you are about to answer. Okay, so now the title also catches the attention of the people evaluating your application. So keep it a bit fancy, but at the same time, it should convey exactly what you wish to do. Secondly, the background and rationale. Here, what are you going to do? You have to go deeper into the existing research, the extent research that has happened till date in the area proposed by you. You have to evaluate each and every piece of publication that has come into light and which have attracted attention of many scholars and researchers. So you have to go into the background, and then you have to critique them. You have to identify the issues and figure out in the background what has been usually ignored by the previous researchers. And then you get to know the path. When you keep on reading, delving deep into the background, your thoughts get refined. Then you exactly get to know the path, the discipline that you wish to carry forward and work, and end of the day, how you are going to reach the objective. So going into the background and doing some research in the background gives you a sense of direction and discipline in which you wish to pursue your research. Then you must do a bit of literature review. You have to evaluate all the major works that have been concluded in this area. So that gives a brief idea of what is the progress that has happened over the period of time in this field of study. Number one. Number two, what are the common thoughts? What are the common areas that other authors have covered? And moreover, the research that has been proposed, those research areas have been incorporated into some various industries or applications. Now you have to understand where all the research was applied. Then you need to also evaluate what are the gaps, what are the areas that could be easily covered through this extent research. Now, finally, what you need to do is to summarize the key debates, the critiques, and also give a timeline of the developments in this field. Thirdly, you have to create your research questions. Now, after evaluating all the extent research that has been done previously, what you need to do right now is you should draw upon the theoretical resources. And once you have gone through all the theoretical resources, you get to know the strengths and weaknesses of all the theoretical resources. And then using those previously conducted and concluded work, you need to propose a new framework which should try to be much superior than the extant literature. Whatever other researchers have completed, you need to propose a new framework which would attempt to remove the weaknesses of the previously concluded research works. Thirdly, the research methods appropriate for the proposed research. Now you need to find out the various methodologies, various ways in which the research would be conducted, and then you would try to explain the advantages of your proposed area of research and the proposed methodology of research. You would try to glorify what you are about to do. That is as simple as that. Fourthly, you need to think of the timeline, the schedule, when and at what time you are going to conclude a certain thing. Now, majorly, if we talk about the research, when you are doing your PhD thesis, the various things that go into that are: number one, you make your, the first research proposal, then you try to collect the data, do some literature review, define your sample. So these are the various milestones, and you need to assign some timelines for each of these milestones. So you should include an outline of the various stages and corresponding timelines for developing and implementing the research, including the writing of your thesis. Then you need to define your research methodology very, very clearly. Now, here, what you need to do, you need to find out the approach, you need to find out the various discussions, you need to find out the various advantages, do all of these things, and then you have to be very clear, because majority of the questions that would be asked by the panel are mostly revolving around the research methodology. How are you going to achieve your objectives? So research methodology paves the path to reach your objectives. How are you going to test your hypothesis? All these things would be easily concluded or easily undertaken if your research methodology is very, very precise. And finally, you need to have the bibliography. That is to say, all the articles, all the prominent works that have been cited by you need to be listed down in the reference section of your proposal. So hope you found this simple, short tutorial easy to understand, and if you find it useful, do like, share and subscribe. Spread the good word. Thank you.